Hey there, welcome to the Alexa Z Show, because life should be fun and meditation should be easy. Join me on today's episode, if for no other reason but to feel a bit more loved, understand why loving kindness or compassion meditation is so important, and get some simple instructions on how to do one starting today. Come on, it's the holidays. Times aren't easy. Let's build up that compassion muscle before anybody tries to take it away from us. There is actually a method to all of this. The more you lack compassion, hard to believe, but it is harder to get it back. Seriously, use it or you lose it. Come on, the Dalai Lama does this type of meditation, and he is super cool. So hang on and let's learn it together. A show for those who want to meditate or maybe tried, loved it one day, hated it the next, or maybe forgot why the heck they're supposed to do it anyway. Well, you landed on the right show. Do you still find yourself wishing you had more time, waking up tired, wanting to take back what you just said to your boss? Seriously, don't you just want to spend a peaceful, productive day with time left to learn the guitar and start that $1 million side hustle? Follow me at alexazmeditates.com/podcast and let's make it happen. Hey there, Alexa Z here, and I am coming to you today with a bit of a cold, actually the end of a cold. So if you hear a little tickle, I apologize. Got a little tea here with me. I don't know about you guys, but those medicinal teas, I think they literally were created by the honey company. I'm drinking Throat Coat for those of you who like it. Sorry, I think it's disgusting. But let's forget about that because loving compassion is going to make me feel better. So I was talking about the Dalai Lama. So let's start with the Dalai Lama with a couple of quotes that you probably have seen or heard 1,000 times, but they never get old. Here we go. Love and compassion are necessities, not luxuries. Without them, humanity cannot survive. There are only 2 days in a year that nothing can be done. One is called yesterday, and the other is called tomorrow. Today is the right day to love, believe, do, and mostly live. And lastly, compassion is, by nature, peaceful and gentle, but also very powerful. Those are all from the Dalai Lama. And that last one of that feeling of peaceful and gentle and powerful is exactly how I feel even talking about it. This morning's meditation for me was a compassion meditation. And I was coughing quite a bit because you know how in the morning you feel worse. And no, I couldn't breathe through my nose and I had to blow my nose twice. And I gave myself a whole bunch of compassion, but it still just made me smile so much. So I hope it does for you too. So obviously there's tons of people I could quote, including Mother Teresa, St. Francis of Assisi, and many past presidents, trying not to put any emphasis on past. Likely names that might come into your head, maybe Abraham Lincoln or Franklin D. Roosevelt, who his struggle with polio was one of the reasons he says that really began his appreciation for other people. And of course, there's the speech at the American University by John F. Kennedy, who could say anything, didn't seem compassionate about that. Well, the list could go on and on. I can get into entrepreneurs and corporate owners and all kinds of different things. But sometimes it does get confusing. Because am I talking about people who are compassionate? Are they sympathetic people? Are they empathetic leaders? Like, what? Is it all the same? It is and it isn't. And so let me give you a couple definitions so that we can start a meditation knowing what does this loving kindness thing mean? Where did this word come from? I don't even know if it was really even a word. I think Sharon Salzberg came up with it and it kind of stuck. Who cares? It's all good. So sympathy is a feeling of like identifying with a situation. So you might like send a sympathy card to somebody. Somebody lost a parent, you send a sympathy card, you can identify with it. Empathy is more the ability to actually kind of feel somebody else's feelings, like walk in their shoes. So like you'd feel just as much excitement when a friend tells you, oh my God, I got a big new job, or I'm pregnant, or I'm getting married. Like you just are like, oh my God, I totally feel that excitement with you. Compassion would be both of those things, sympathy and empathy, but smash them together and add one ingredient, add a desire to help. So compassion literally means to suffer together. Now, that sounds yucky, right? Like it's compassion. It should be a good thing. We're suffering together. It is a good thing. It's a good thing because you cannot stop or stand by and watch someone suffer. You must take action. It could be as simple as making a meal for someone who is hungry. So compassion is sympathy and empathy combined with the added magic ingredient of a desire to do something. So why do we want to practice compassion through meditation? That doesn't sound like we're actually doing anything. We're just sitting there. Well, first, I'm lazy and it's super easy. And second, with this ease, lucky is a really great reward for everyone. And if you practice compassion, that kindness muscle, even though it's not really a muscle, but it's part of your emotional center of your brain, this part of your brain must be used just like all the other parts of your brain. But realistically, and perhaps sadly, we spend far too much time in our CEO-type brain and not in our loving brain. So this is a secular show, but I often bring up things if it's Catholicism or Buddhism or Judaism or whatever, and here is one thing I'm going to bring up today. So in Buddhism, there are a series of 4 virtues and meditation practices made to cultivate those virtues. And those are 1, loving kindness, or in Pali, metta. 2, compassion, or karuna. 3, empathetic joy, or mudita. And 4, equanimity, and I have a tough time with this word, upekkha. Sorry if I'm butchering that, but it is Pali and I am not fluent in Pali. I just wanted to mention it before I give you tips on actually how to practice this loving kindness meditation, because the third one, empathetic joy, I think is really cool, and you don't seem to hear about it as much. Plus, I kind of like the sound of the word mudita. It's defined as pure joy unadulterated by self-interest. Pure joy unadulterated by self-interest. So you can be happy about the delights that other people feel. In other words, this empathetic joy is joy that is actually associated with helping others in the sense that that's the reward in and of itself. That's it. That is the reward. And this is how I feel when I do a loving kindness meditation. I feel mudita, that it just doing it. Yes, I'm doing it thinking it's bringing something to others, but it automatically brings me pure joy. And I feel like this is how we should always feel when we do for others. So now I'm going to go through a loving kindness meditation, just give you the steps to go through, and you can look at this in the show notes. Now, there's lots of them online. This is just the one I do. Most of the scripted stuff I do is from my teacher, Sarah McLean. This is kind of like I said, a quick overview. But I think you'll get it. And I think if you don't even look at the show notes, you'll be able to turn the show off and try it yourself. So you're going to start your meditation, obviously in a comfortable seated position, and begin with a couple of long, slow, deep breaths, preferably through your nose, which I was not capable of doing this morning. And then I always do a short body scan just so that you're fully relaxed and fully present. And then you shift your awareness to just behind your breastbone or your heart center. So you kind of drop out of your head and drop into your heart. Then choose a few phrases. Now, I'm going to give you 3, but it can be anything that resonates with you. I'll give you the 3 that are always my go-to, but again, you can choose your own. The 3 I use are may you be healthy, may you be happy, and may you know that you are loved. May you be healthy. May you be happy. May you know that you are loved. You can come up with any that you like. May you be free from suffering. May you be peaceful. May you be free of sorrow. Whatever feels good to you. It could just be one phrase. It could just be may you be healthy. Whatever you want to do, but I'm just going to go with my 3 for now. First, you begin with someone that you care about. It could be a parent, a child, a spouse, a partner, anybody you love, or perhaps somebody you just really, really admire or you're inspired by them or inspired to be them. So visualize them, really picture them right in front of you. And if you want, you can, even in your mind, just kind of silently repeat their name. And then silently offer loving kindness by repeating those phrases to yourself just a few times. So I might think of my husband or my mother, or it could be my dog, and picture them in my mind really, really as though they are right there with me. And then silently in my mind, I would say a few times, may you be healthy, or once, may you be happy, may you know that you are loved. And next, you just allow those phrases to kind of just settle with you. things come up, feelings come up, emotions come up. But the key is to just sit with them and let it be without creating a story about the person, without creating, going down a memory path. Just be present with the feeling without any doing, no doing, just feeling. And after a few minutes, just sit quietly and refocus back at that heart center, kind of always, just in case you go back up into your head, dropping back into that heart center and just breathing normally. Now that entire thing I just discussed, you're going to do the exact same thing with the following people. Okay, so now you're going to move on to the next one, and that person is the most difficult, and that would be yourself. Now, in many practices, they start with yourself. I am just someone who feels that we are very vulnerable when it comes to kindness and loving and all this squishy stuff. So if we start with ourselves, sometimes it's just harder to grasp it. Like you're just going to sit down and be like, all right, going to start my meditation. I'm going to love on me. So I start with somebody else that I love because I always find it's very much easier to express love about someone else than for myself. So the next one is going to be yourself. And you're going to do the exact same practice, saying the exact same phrase or couple of phrases to yourself. And again, breathing from your heart center, sitting quietly. Each one of these, different stuff will come up. So sit with it for yourself for a few minutes. Back to the heart-centered breath, taking a moment and moving on to the next person. The next person is somebody neutral. It can be anybody. It could be somebody you saw at the post office or the grocery store. You don't need to know their name. It could be the flash of the post person that drives by your house every day, or the UPS person that my dogs constantly bark at, and just sitting neutrally with that person and repeating the phrases and sitting with the feelings. And it's really neat because as you do it, you get that feeling that the waves of kindness go out, and maybe that person's load was a little lighter today because of you. The next one you'll do, and this one's hard, or can be hard, is somebody you're having difficulty with. It could be somebody today. It could be somebody from a long time ago. It could be somebody that you've had difficulty with for a very long time. So that one, really get ready for things to bubble up or not. Again, no stories, no going down memory lane. Just give loving kindness through your phrases, through your love, and through your silence. The next one, it could be somebody who, like a person who you feel is suffering, or maybe a group of people. Maybe you don't even know who these people are, but you heard on the news there's a group of people, or maybe even an environmental issue, something that's going on that's causing issues in the world. Just put that in your mind. People that are experiencing difficulties, gather that in your mind and offer them your phrases. May they be happy. May they be healthy. May they know they are loved. Now it gets really fun. Again, sit in the quiet. Next, you're going to expand that kindness. Can you see how we're kind of starting close and going farther and farther away? So you're going to expand the kindness towards bringing beings in your environment into your mind, maybe your room, maybe your house. Then maybe you go further. You go out to your town, your city, your state, your country, the whole world. So suddenly that kindness just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's easier because you've been sitting with this, and suddenly your heart feels more and more and more open. Again, this is a very vulnerable thing. The opening up is really hard, which is often why we do not do it. We go the other way. So instead of going the other way, we're going to go towards it. So expanding it and then finishing it by coming back to yourself, back to the one who is sitting here in this meditation. Remember, between each section, just kind of a few moments of quiet, heart-centered breathing. And I know this sounds like long because I'm trying to explain it a little bit more detail, but it can be 5 minutes. It can be 45 minutes. It can be whatever you like. There's no right or wrong. It's beautiful, and it's really awesome to do in a group. I think next week or the week after I'm doing one at my spa. I always do free ones around this time of the year. I think it's really nice. Thanksgiving's in a few weeks, to just get that kindness muscle moving. And when you have a group of people, it almost does feel like a ripple effect. It's like the waves of kindness and love are going out, and then they're going out, and then they're coming in. So as you give it, you're also receiving. So winner, winner in my books. Kindness, it really increases when you know you have a similarity with somebody, right? And sometimes we don't feel like we have similarities to anyone. But when you do this meditation, I think what you really find is there is no separation. We are all people. We all need love. We all suffer. Life is suffering. It's not just a big bowl of cherries. So who doesn't want a life that's filled with kindness? If you can give me a big old dose of kindness every day, I'm pretty sure I can move mountains. But in the end, this type of meditation really helps in your own self-awareness. And if you're more in touch with your own self-awareness, then automatically your interactions with other people become far easier. We become to feel like we're part of life and we're not alone in it. It's like we're not an I anymore, but we're a we. And with a we feel stronger, we feel lighter, and we feel a bit more happy. I don't have anything else to say. I'm happy right now, and I am not coughing. I can breathe through my nose. This has been a good day for me, and I hope it's a good day for you. If you have never done a meditation like this before, or if you maybe didn't feel like doing it because it felt a little awkward, give it a try. And if you see somewhere in your area that there is a loving kindness or a kindness or compassion meditation in your area, do it. If you're looking for a full script, well, you can get on the show notes and use this, or get online, just type it in, Google it. They're all over the place. Thank you so much for joining me. Next week, I have a surprise. I am doing an interview with Rick Leggett. If anybody knows him, he is an awesome guy. He is a 40-year veteran of the security intelligence community and the ex-NSA deputy director. And the coolest part about him is he meditates. And even cooler, he's going to sit down with me and we're going to talk about it. So join me for next week's awesome interview with Rick Leggett. Have a fantastic week. Thank you. Later, taters. Peace out.